Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 5 with the Tower. It's Friday yet again. It's another Friday. We're still in lockdown-ish, but obviously it's still the same rules apply. But we're going to run through that. But we've got a great special guest with us, just joining us for the first time. It is the sponsored pro. It is the legend that won the passport. It is, ladies and gentlemen. It is Mr. Andy Hills. There he is.
Best intro ever. Thank you.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, thank you.
How has lockdown been for you, considering you travelled the world for flags?
It's a big change, but it is how I started. Though I used to live as a hermit doing online poker before people had heard of my flag adventures. So it's a blast from the past, almost. Just back at home grinding online.
Playing lots on poker, well, that's what we're going to be talking about with Live at 5. Afternoon, everybody. We've got the chat box open as well. If you're joining us on Facebook, hi to Chris Bampton, hi to Gary Clark. Andy Back is also watching. We've got a massive series coming up, which obviously we're going to be talking about. And Jamie Nixon's just joining us as well. And I'm going to be joining Jamie Nixon on Sunday for the Midi. So that will be interesting. It's a cracking festival coming up. Andy, how much have you played? How has the volume been in the last 10 weeks? Has it increased too much? Has it increased a lot?
It was, not surprisingly, a big spike at the start. But yeah, it's online is very much alive. There's been lots of special festivals and things that, and there's a lot of money to be made online in poker. So it's been good from a professional perspective. It's been good for me.
Yeah, good. We're just going to quickly run through the last couple of deep stack. The last weekend's results. One of the deep stack was won. Now you'll know a lot more online names than I will, and you'll probably recognise them, and you'll know the names behind them. And a lot of people don't like. They love the anonymity of a screen name, but the guy that won the deep stack last week was Mech Fletcher. Now, no, it's not. It's not the Fletch from Blackpool. It actually is. I don't know if you actually know who it is.
I actually did find out who it was. I think he's not hiding it now. So,
yeah, and we're allowed to say that Stato Andy Hume actually won the deep stack using the alias of Mech Fletcher. But so well done to him. He Super Willie Tan. Now I'm not even sure if that is Super Willie Tan, but Super Willie Tan was second, and the B Blue was third in the deep stack last week. So there were the names, and finishing off from last week. The 25-50, massive events. These have got the numbers all the time. These 25-50s. Did you play the 25-50 last week?
That might be one of the few that I missed. Actually, I think I played everyone except that one.
Yeah. Well, Spanned42, who watches a lot of Jamie Nixon's Twitch streams. Span plays a lot. He's played a lot during the lockdown. He actually took down the 25-50 for 10,405. So well done to him. Milky Coconuts finishing second, and Pony Funny was third. You can get some great names online. You can pick absolutely anything for online alias.
Somebody actually caught when we were on the previous network on Microgaming. Somebody had a screen name Andy Hills Got Skills.
I think that's when you made it, isn't it? You've got somebody else.
Your first call or your first someone naming after them. That's brilliant.
Absolutely. Running forward to this week, we've got tonight is the launch of the GUKPT series, and whenever we've spoke, whenever we've done an interview, no matter where we are in the world, we've always said getting in for a fraction of the price is the best way to play poker. But today online, there's a £5,000 GUKPT mega free roll. Now that's a way to get in, Andy.
Mm-hmm. That's going to give you a good ROI if you cash it in.
That's on tonight. That's starting the series, which we're going to run through very shortly because Andy's going to tell us what he's going to be playing during the GKPT series, which is coming up. A little bit of news regarding the Androids and the Macs and the iPads. You can now play it on the Androids, which is great. The Apple is coming very, very soon. They're already in discussions. And then the Mac, we're being told, will be a little bit later in the year. So that's for all you guys that can't get onto a laptop, can't get onto a desktop, and want to play on your mobile devices. Do you ever play poker on your mobile devices, or is it always a laptop or a desktop?
Only a small number of times. I've played while playing like a side event in Manchester or something like that. I've played on Grosvenor on my phone. Only a few times though. I'm not really I'm more of I like sitting on my desktop computer. I like my home computer.
Yeah. Going to start with the schedule because it is a fantastic week-long schedule. Are you going to be glued to this chair?
Pretty much. I think I'll play the majority of the events. I've got, in fact, you were talking about satellites. I've got a ticket for one of them as well. I've got, I won a satellite. Oh, this is before lockdown. I won a satellite for GUKPT Edinburgh, and was, of course, very disappointed not to go to get to play at GUKPT Edinburgh. My personal favourite GUKPT stop. So I've still got the ticket from then. So I'm going to use that this weekend.
I think we missed Edinburgh more than most. Obviously, Blackpool, if it is cancelled later in the year, what everybody says is their favourite stop. That will be a disappointment. But and obviously Goliath, which will be moving online. But we're going to concentrate on the GUKPT, which actually the free roll is tonight, but it starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. with a £225 mini. So we've got the mini now. If without looking at your database, have you got a live mini and a live main? Is that true?
I've never won a live mini main. I've won a 25-25, which is a very similar tournament. You know, the same kind of ish starting stack, same-ish structure, same-ish prize pool. But I can't say. When you collect things like flags, which is very arbitrary, you can't really say that you've won a mini main because you've won something like it. You have to win one, right? So I do have a gap on my resume.
Yeah. The Trig's joining us. Oh, Rick Trigg, who joined us on live at 5 a couple of weeks ago. Good afternoon, Mr. Rick Trigg. Dennis says, what time does the free roll start with a 5,000 free roll? If I just quickly try and pull up the client, because we've got it all open. It is a big one. Make sure you've downloaded it. I was talking to the guys earlier. Over 6,000 people have transferred over, which is phenomenal. Well done, one and all, for transferring over, because that is a huge number for everybody to be turning over into the new software. Are you liking the new software, Andy?
Yes. I did have an iPoker account before, and of course now I'm using Grosvenor instead of the site that I was playing on before, so it's a no-brainer. I like iPoker. It's same sort, like ballpark, similar kind of schedule of tournaments. And I've got a couple of favourite tournaments that I already was playing daily on iPoker. So I'm very happy to have that as my main site now. Very happy.
Just to answer Dennis's question, it starts at 8 p.m. tonight. The £5,000 GKPT mega free roll starts at 8 o'clock tonight. So make sure you get into that. And straight underneath, Mateus, when is your poker app going to be available on the Mac? Later in the year has been the answer from the guys in Power. So later in the year, if it's just available now on the Android, it's coming to the Apple very soon, and then later in the year it will be for the Mac. Looking at the schedule, we've got the mini, we've got the MIDI. The MIDI will be fabulous. It's 50,000 guarantee. It's 10 levels of 30 minutes. 30-minute levels, Andy, online. Is that extraordinary?
There are not many tournaments online that are better value than this. I mean, if you play like a scoop series or something like that, I think you have to play a very high buy-in before you get over 20-minute blinds. I think you have to be on like 1K, maybe even 2K buy-ins. So this is an exceptional structure. I mean, I think it's probably a bit better than the live one was. And the live one, you know, the 1 hour clock is very good in live poker. And I think this probably equates to a little bit better than that. So yeah, it's incredible. And we've kept the buy-in the same. So if you had a ticket for a £560 main event, you can use that. That's what I'm going to be doing. I had that £560 ticket. I'm going to be using that. And the rake is lower. It's not 500 plus 60. I think it's half of that. I think it's like 530 or something. Don't quote me on that. But it's low rake as well. So it's incredible. It's a snap.
Yeah, we're gonna have there's gonna be a player of the series.
I almost didn't mention an actual trophy.
There is, and there's a leaderboard for player of the series. So we've got player of the series. We've got a trophy. There's also the national league that's ongoing as well. I'm guessing Bousey is still top, like he seems to have been since January the 1st when he played the first tournament of 2020. And obviously the passport with the National Online League, you won it, and then you won Manchester as well in the first season. So it's that passport's a fantastic promotion.
It is. It was a game changer for me.
Absolutely.
And we've been liberally giving away passports ever since then.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just looking down. Susie, I keep looking. Susie Williamson, good evening. How are you? I know you keep posting your results online, and you're getting some cracking results. She says, "Are there any is there a ladies' event for the on the series?" I don't think that's hard to manage, isn't it? Online. That's definitely.
I don't think there's a ladies' event.
No, but if you go to gkpt.com, if you go to Grosvenor on Facebook, as you see it scrolling along the bottom right underneath there, it'll tell join us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. All the pictures are always there. It's you can all the YouTube videos, and don't forget this week's running of an hour with the tower. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it. We had Joe Beavers last week, and last week we had Steve Wobbleton, Mr. Warburton. It's I'm enjoying it. We did him. We got him while he was outside, and he had air down here, and it was looking good. They're in snippets, and from Monday, I can't give any clues away, but he's a little bit bigger than Steve Warburton. Not that Steve Warburton is not one of our favourites. Not that anybody else is one, but he's a little bit bigger. That will be coming up next week. So if you are watching the hour with the tower, which are in 10-15 minute snippets, then they are excellent to watch. And I know Joe Beavers had a few questions saying, can we have it in the full section? Now, we put it into snippets because we thought you might not want to watch it for an hour and 10 minutes, but a lot of people do. A lot of people seem to want to watch the full clip. So yeah, that is up there. It's Steve Warburton this week, and it's a big one next week. But the GKPT online, it's the mini this week on the Saturday. It's the midi on the Sunday, and then there's £150 freeze house. I want you to tell me a little bit about a progressive knockout, because I don't know too much about it, because I don't play that much online. Obviously, you do, because you're an absolute superstar. Progressive knockout.
Well, I do play more of those than I used to. I mean, you can't really avoid them online now. They've become a very popular format. There's no, and even if you're averse to very knockout-y tournaments where that is a big part of the game, you can't really avoid it now. So if you can't beat them, join them. It is a somewhat different strategy because a significant, like half of the prize pool does go to knockout bounties. So if you don't make an adjustment to it, you are making a mistake. So sometimes you have to make some plays that look quite gambly but it does make, mathematically it stacks up. So they are fun and action-packed and high variance.
And a lot of people like him as well, especially a lot of guys like the line. They do. So we've got a progressive knockout. There's a six max. There's a Doncoments. There's a PLO. Do you dabble?
A little. I would not describe myself as good at PLO. I like having a go. I'm not very confident at deep stack play. But yeah, I've got a few. I think I've won a very small PLO tournament online. I think I've won or come second in a small PLO high-low as well. And so I have a go at a few things actually. I played some 5-cod no limit draw and stuff recently. I play. I like having a go at a few different things. I've got a couple of PLOs on my Hendon actually. But.
Oh, there we go. It just shows. If you're anything like Jamie Nixon, he needs lessons in PLO, because he was telling us last time we had a UKPT series that he was it was terrible, but he had to play it, and it didn't last too long. So there's plenty to play at during this UKPT series. There is a trophy for the main event, which is on the 20th, which is a week tomorrow. It's 1,000. It's 1,060 plus the juice, so 1,110. It's 100,000 guaranteed. It's an event that this man that way will be playing, Mr. Andy Hills for sure, and plenty of others as well. It's a great. I know you have to keep thinking it's all opposites, but the main event will be joining Jamnix, but we are joining Jamie Nixon for the MIDI. So you've just got to play if you play online. And one thing to say about it, Andy, is also the GUKPT is just for British players as well, isn't it?
And Ireland as well.
Yeah, just in the United Kingdom. Yeah, UK players only. So some people ask, why have you not got X amount of guarantees or this amount of guarantees? Why is it not 50 times guaranteed? It's only because it's British based. It's a UK players only. So that's one of the reasons. But it's also good because you know that you will probably know the players that you're playing against. So even though you don't know the aliases, you will probably find out who they are. That's one of the things. And then obviously on the 21st, the GUKPT in event number 12, which Andy Hills will have played, he'll have final tabled 4. He might have finished heads up in one of them. Might have got a little tile. This is my prediction, by the way. We're going on.
Coach, you can build me up and get me into the right gear.
Absolutely. But please join us on the GUKPT clients, because it is a packed, solid GUKPT series. There is a player of the series. There are points towards the National League. There's a trophy for the big one. Make sure you try and get the trophy. It's engraved. It's got your name on it. It's shipped out to you. So make sure you play this. It is all coming up on Grosvenor. Everything about it is just about to kick off, because tonight has got a £5,000 mega free roll, which means I'm going to have to brush up my skills, because even I can get in. So Andy's going to be staying behind for an hour to give me a quick lesson on how to play it, because we're not doing too well at the moment. But I would just like to say finally before we finish, Andy Hills, thank you very much. I know I warble on a lot, but it's nice to get a little bit of an insight. But good luck during the series, and keep us informed on your Twitter and your social media pages on just how you're doing. Will you be playing the mega free roll?
Is that when? Tell me what.
8 o'clock tonight. The 5,000 mega free roll.
I think I might give everyone else a little chance in that. Actually, I've got some other plans. I'm going to make a few Skype calls and stuff this evening.
Yeah. Well, if you do play it, good luck. But good luck for the series. Just to finish off with Susie, she just says she's only asking because of the ladies' leaderboard. So I'll pass that on to the guys regarding the ladies' leaderboard. They can answer it, because I don't know. And we will find that out for you, Susie, and we'll let you know very, very soon. But I hope Susie plays a lot, because she's been doing very well during this lockdown. Thanks for tuning in for Live at 5. We're going to let Andy Hills get off, because he'll have the tea to cook, and he'll have to get himself prepared for this fantastic series that is just about to commence on Grosvenor. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thanks, and everybody out there, stay safe, please play it in cyberspace, because this week coming up has a fantastic GUKPT series, and we'll be joining Jamie Nixon on his Twitch on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. There'll be plenty of action on social media. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter and every other social media outlet. Thanks, Andy Hills, and from the tower at this moment in time. Ta-ta.